The Roman conquest of Italy stands as a pivotal moment in the history of the Roman Empire. As one of the most formidable civilizations of all time, Rome aimed to expand its dominance and exert control over nearby regions. This conquest marked a significant turning point in their expansionist agenda. With its military might and strategic prowess, Rome embarked on a series of campaigns to subdue the various tribes and city-states present in Italy. The Romans employed a combination of diplomacy, alliances, and sheer force to assert their authority over these territories. The conquest of Italy was not only motivated by territorial ambitions, but also fueled by economic considerations. The fertile lands, abundant resources, and strategic positions held by these Italian regions were highly coveted by Rome. By bringing these territories under their control, the Romans gained access to valuable resources and ensured economic stability for their growing empire. Moreover, the conquest of Italy allowed Rome to establish a strong foothold in the Mediterranean region. It served as a launching pad for further expansion into other parts of Europe, Africa, and Asia. The successful subjugation of Italian territories demonstrated Rome's military prowess and sent a clear message to other civilizations that they were not to be underestimated. Furthermore, through assimilation policies and grants of citizenship known as Romanization, conquered peoples were gradually absorbed into Roman society. This process helped foster unity within the empire while simultaneously spreading Roman culture and values throughout newly acquired territories. The Roman conquest of Italy was a monumental event that propelled Rome towards becoming one of history's most influential empires. It allowed them to extend their influence across vast territories while securing valuable resources for continued growth. The conquest marked a turning point in Roman expansionism and set the stage for further imperial ambitions in years to come. The conquest of Italy by the Romans began in the 4th century BCE and lasted for several centuries. Through a combination of military campaigns, diplomacy, and strategic alliances, Rome gradually gained control over various regions within Italy. This conquest spanned several centuries and played a crucial role in shaping the Roman Empire. Utilizing a combination of military campaigns, diplomacy, and strategic alliances, Rome steadily extended its control over various regions within Italy. The Romans employed a well-organized and disciplined military force to achieve their territorial expansion. They engaged in numerous battles against local tribes and city-states throughout Italy. These military campaigns allowed Rome to conquer territories one by one, gradually expanding their dominion. In addition to military might, the Romans also utilized diplomacy as a means of gaining control over Italian regions. They negotiated treaties with certain Italian communities, offering them favorable terms in exchange for their allegiance to Rome. This diplomatic approach allowed the Romans to secure alliances and minimize opposition from within Italy. Furthermore, strategic alliances played a pivotal role in Rome's conquest of Italy. The Romans capitalized on existing rivalries between different Italian communities and exploited them for their own advantage. By forming alliances with certain factions while pitting others against each other, Rome strategically weakened its opponents and furthered its own influence. Over time, as Rome continued its conquests across Italy, it established colonies and settlements that served as bases for further expansion. These colonies not only solidified Roman control, but also brought Roman culture and governance to previously independent regions. The process of Roman conquest in Italy was not without resistance or challenges. There were instances of rebellions by conquered peoples seeking independence from Roman rule. However, through effective administration and infrastructure development, the Romans gradually assimilated these territories into their empire. Ultimately, the conquest of Italy laid the foundation for Rome's rise as a dominant power in ancient Europe. It provided valuable resources such as land and wealth while establishing a framework that would later facilitate further expansion into other parts of Europe and beyond. In conclusion, through military prowess combined with diplomacy and strategic alliances, the Romans embarked on a centuries-long conquest of Italy. Their approach allowed them to gradually gain control over various regions, solidifying their empire and shaping the course of history. The Roman Empire's conquest of Italy was a pivotal moment in history, with profound implications for both Rome and the Italian peninsula. This military expansion not only resulted in the establishment of Roman colonies throughout Italy, but also led to the spread of Latin language and culture across the region. As Rome extended its control over various Italian city-states, it systematically established colonies to maintain dominance and ensure loyalty. These colonies served as strategic military outposts, administrative centers, and cultural hubs. They helped solidify Roman control over conquered territories while facilitating trade and economic development. One significant consequence of the Roman conquest was the dissemination of Latin language and culture. As Roman influence grew, Latin gradually became the lingua franca of Italy. It replaced diverse local languages and dialects spoken by different indigenous peoples with a unified form of communication that would eventually evolve into what we know today as Italian. Moreover, this integration into Roman society brought about social changes for conquered peoples. While initially subject to strict control, many Italians were eventually granted citizenship rights or became allies to Rome. This process allowed them to participate in political life, serve in the military, or engage in economic activities within the empire. The impact of these developments went beyond just political and social realms. The spread of Latin language facilitated communication between different regions within Italy, fostering a sense of unity among its diverse population. It also laid the foundation for future cultural achievements in literature, art, architecture, law, and governance that shaped Western civilization. In summary, the conquest of Italy by the Romans had far-reaching implications for both Rome itself and its newly acquired territories on the Italian peninsula. The establishment of colonies ensured Roman dominance while spreading Latin language and culture throughout the region. The integration of conquered peoples into Roman society fostered social cohesion while laying groundwork for future advancements that would shape history for centuries to come. During the period under discussion, slavery played a significant role in shaping the social and economic fabric of Rome. As the empire expanded its territorial reach, it acquired vast quantities of slaves from the regions it conquered. These enslaved individuals were utilized for diverse purposes, ranging from agricultural labor to household chores and even military service. Slavery in ancient Rome was not only prevalent, but also deeply entrenched in society. Slaves were viewed as property and lacked basic rights and freedoms. They were considered commodities that could be bought, sold, or inherited by their owners. The primary source of slaves came from areas such as Greece, Gaul, modern-day France, and Africa. The agricultural sector heavily relied on slave labor for tasks such as tilling fields, planting crops, and harvesting produce. This system allowed large landowners to amass significant wealth while keeping production costs low. Slaves also played a crucial role in maintaining households by undertaking domestic work like cooking, cleaning, and caring for children. Additionally, some slaves served in the military as auxiliary troops or performed various support roles within the armed forces. Their contributions ranged from construction work to logistical support during military campaigns. It is important to note that while slavery was an integral part of Roman society during this period, there were individuals who opposed this institution on moral grounds. Philosophers like Seneca expressed their concerns about the treatment of slaves and advocated for more humane treatment. Overall, slavery had a profound impact on Rome's growth and development during this era. It shaped its economy by providing cheap labor for essential sectors and contributed to its military might through enslaved soldiers' participation. Understanding the role of slavery is crucial when examining ancient Roman society, as it sheds light on both its strengths and ethical shortcomings. Overall, the Roman conquest of Italy was a complex process that shaped the course of history. It laid the foundation for Rome's rise as a dominant power in Europe and set the stage for its eventual transformation into one of history's greatest empires.